I don't know what happened to radar. There are 3 runs, right, Paul? I got 3 runs. Because we had one from 9 to 9:28 or something. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the September, excuse me, are we on the air, John? Okay, thank you. Sorry, I was checking with our communications people. Okay, good morning. Welcome to the September 18th, 2025 Lenawee County Accounts Payable Committee. And Commissioner Martis is just walking in the door, so we'll call the meeting to order, and I'll ask for approval of the minutes of September 4th, 2025.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Administrator Murphy. Any additions or corrections?
I have none.
No addition or corrections. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes of September 4th, 2025.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by, did I do that already?
Yes,
Oh, well, I did it again.
we're here for you.
I want to make sure we got that covered. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Opposed, no. The minutes are approved. So we're reviewing the accounts payable, and we're starting out with the run dated 9/4/25.
Just so you know, I reviewed both of these runs and have no questions on any of them, just as a heads up.
That's good. I have very few, and there's 3 runs though.
Oh, then
So,
I'm sure the third one's just fine too.
well, I have very few. It's interesting that you say that because I didn't have very many. The only one I have is that if you go to page 2 on this run, Paul, on the Department of Aging,
Is this 9/9?
9/2/9, let me look.
That may be the one I didn't.
This one is 9/2.
Okay.
Page 2, Department on Aging, first item, 20, fiscal year 2025, 2025, volunteer app, 33 volunteers max. I guess I just don't understand what that is.
So this is every year the Department on Aging gets donations for to throw basically just a day to recognize their volunteers. This money comes as one lump sum donation, which then goes to each senior center individually. And this is basically recording how many volunteers there are at that senior center, which is used to determine the cost based on how that donation is divided up.
Okay. Okay, thank you. On page 3, right toward the bottom, 16,257 Platinum Senior Solutions annual physicals.
Yes, we provide our foster grandparents with an annual physical
Yeah.
as part of the program.
On page 5, 8199, sensiphone quotation for temp tracking. The only reason I picked it out is because it was $4,200. I have no idea what that is.
I believe that this is to be able to track basically epidemic tracking through phones. In the event that, but I can double check with the health department to ensure that is what it is.
Well, if that's anybody else, I mean, Administrator Murphy, you. It's a quotation 39242, PHN temp tracking.
Oh, no, I don't have a specific explanation of that one, what that
Okay.
is specifically.
Okay, if you find something out, Paul, let me know. Okay, very good. Down just a little further on that IT, Marie Spear expansion LDA kitchen for 25,000. Is that part of the whole program or is that something additionally?
So the expansion of the Maurice Spears required a lot of networking to go into that. Basically, they're running cables into the entire building so they can set up,
Okay,
so
so
they
that,
can connect to IT and have connectivity through that portion of the building.
okay, and so that's some of the ones that you brought up at the commission meeting, right? Deputy Administrator El.
That's correct. And these costs they have been compiled what you have approved previously in the overall project price. And those would be your soft costs and things of that nature.
Okay, perfect. So that's one. On page 8, there's emergency tech training for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different individuals. What is that?
I'm not certain on the exact nature of that training. We'll have to get back with you. Emergent, sure.
I didn't know if it was EM.
Oh, emergency technology. It's emerging technology to make sure that the officers are familiar with.
Got it. It's not emergency, it's emergent. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, thank you. And just for my general information, this happens to be on page 9, but it's just for, what's a pre-denial disbursement?
So these are individuals that were denied a primary residence exemption. So a portion of that tax needs to go back to the municipality.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I will add to that a little bit because when those came through, I questioned it too, because there's a lot
Right.
and the numbers are fairly large. And so I did check with our county treasurer. She did indicate that the state of Michigan typically does audits of our PRE exemptions or principal residence exemptions. And there were a few years in which they were not conducting that audit, which was through COVID, and then they had a number of state workers working from home. They recently forwarded to our county clerk's office a couple hundred residences that needed to be billed back for a PRE denial. And so they have done that. They have collected those funds. And now those funds are being dispersed back to either the school system or the municipality in which those residences reside.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's not the only week that we had those checks, because I saw those
We
2 runs I looked at.
We will have PRE disbursements periodically, whether they be to individuals who may have, are getting reimbursed or something, but in this particular case, there are a large number of them and they are to municipalities or school districts. And she did indicate that this is not all of them. They are still working on collections. So you will see future groupings like this going forward until they can get that all taken care of.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Just a few down from that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have an initial contribution of a cost sharing agreement with Macomb County for 20 grand. What do we cost share with Macomb County?
Need to verify that because I don't know if that's part of the G2G servicing that we were just talking about, because that is done through another county, and I don't remember right now if it's Macomb or Oakland. Pardon? Okay, so what is this one? Okay, so yeah, we'll have to verify with the treasurer which agreement this is about.
Okay, just curiosity. I'm sure it's legit agreement. I just wondered what it was that we're cost sharing. So, okay, that takes care of that one. Now we're gonna go to the run of 9/11. Sure, I had any on this one.
No, I didn't. How many layers of review do these disbursements go through before they make it here?
That's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up.
Just thinking of the public's watching and wondering how this process happens.
So we are we are decentralized pretty much when it comes to this sort of thing. And so what happens is the invoices go in not to a centralized office, but to the individual department in which the costs are being incurred. So then that department will code it and enter it into the system. They have a person within the department that does that. Then that department head basically signs off electronically on it. That electronic acknowledgement along with the invoices themselves are then come to the accounts payable office within our building. In other words, they go to Paul. Paul gets a lot of mail. Paul gets a lot of emails. So then Paul will, once he has those, he double checks what is going on with the invoices, making sure things are coded properly, they make sense. Any invoice that it relates to some sort of policy such as travel or meals or something like that, he looks to make sure that it is an appropriate expenditure and meets all of our policy needs. From there, both the finance director and I look at every edit list on a weekly basis. We then push questions back to Mr. Gelber. He then will follow up if there's something that he didn't catch originally and we have questions on, or he'll simply answer the question for us so that we understand it. And then from there, those edit lists are then pushed out to the commission, and then every other week, the accounts payable committee reviews all of the edit lists that have been processed during that, between the meetings, for another set of eyes to look at. So this goes through a large number of approvals and reviews every single week.
Good.
Yeah, and that makes sense because I've been here, since the first of the year. You guys have been doing this a lot longer, but I mean, first of all, the odds of Jim or me finding an error is low because we don't see the invoices. We don't see all that stuff, but we've yet to find anything that was a mistake and seems very unlikely for that to happen. I mean, have you guys ever found anything at this stage in the last decade that, oh my gosh, we missed that? And I'm guessing the odds of that is pretty low.
Slap ourselves in the back and give Kyle a big kudos here. I cannot think of anything. I know when we're looking at them, we're also looking at account numbers to make sure that things are being billed to the appropriate account number. We have people that change out within the departments, and sometimes those are the individuals that are inputting invoices. And so we want to make sure that they're trained appropriately and they're hitting the appropriate account numbers, because then that's going to impact their budget. And so when we're doing budget reviews and needing to do appropriations in budget adjustments, we need to make sure things are being billed appropriately. So they have the initial person who puts it in, the department head, Paul, the finance director, myself. So it goes through at least 5 different individuals before it finally lands with the commissioners.
That's great. And how long's that been in process, that system? That wasn't in 2000, right?
Well, a lot of that changed over when we changed the software. This particular software, we did have different ways of doing it, and I can't speak to before me, but I know that since we have had this version of software, that is the process that was set up, because we had to electronically set up what that approval process looked like. So as an example, I have to literally go into the system and approve each of these batches before they're able to be moved on for you to look at. If I'm not here, there's one other person that can do that on my behalf, and that is Deputy Elliott. So we have to make sure that one of us are always reviewing those on a weekly basis. So just so that you're aware that there are securities in place as well as approval processes.
Perfect. Thank you. And thanks for answering that. That's a great question.
Well, seeing the number of people that were watching the Bridging the Gap committee yesterday, I realized that people are paying attention, and that would be a logical question for them to have.
Right. Absolutely. So on page 12 of this run, interesting that the sheriff's department, there's rifles and supplies. So we buy rifles for the deputies? I mean, are they county owned in the car, or why is?
So the answer to that is twofold. Number one, yes, they could be owned by the county. The second one is we also offer a rifle buyback program, and that has been in place for quite some time now. In other words, the deputy, as you can imagine, with the work that they're doing, they need to be able to handle their weapon appropriately and accurately.
Right.
And if you have a weapon that is sighted for you and is comfortable for you, then when you are out and if you have that unfortunate situation where you have to pull that particular weapon, you are more comfortable with it than if it's just a weapon that's being passed around for each person. So what you're seeing here is rifles that are purchased in advance. Some of them may be just generic weapons that are being purchased, but in most cases, the deputies are purchasing those back and then they're paying for them through payroll deduction.
Interesting. Okay, that's all I had for that particular run. So we have moved on now to the 9/18 run, final one for this accounts payable. Do you have anything there, Commissioner Martin?
I did not. The one thing I put a mark is the 1.23 million to Granger. That's for Maurice Spears, right?
Correct.
And how close are we to the end of that project?
I will let Deputy Elliott take that because this has been her project all along.
We are very, very close to phase one completion. So in fact, on Monday, we took essentially ownership of the building, meaning that moves on now onto our insurance, our utilities, those kinds of things. Excuse me. As we have the ribbon cutting ceremony next Friday. And then we actually expect full completion by October 17th, meaning we'll have kids in the building and things of that nature. And we move on to phase two. So Granger will still be with us. That's utilizing the MDHHS grant that we were awarded last year.
Thank you.
Perfect. On page 5 of that run, Paul, just for I'm sure it's something to do with food, but 12362 on our bank card, LDA HDM insulated bags.
Yes, this is for the home delivered meals.
Okay.
They have to have.
Someday you should publish a chart of all these acronyms.
Some of them overlap.
I have no idea what this
The
means.
amount of MAC that show up.
Like, I'm supposed to know what an HDM is for the LDA. Got it.
Well, and that's why oftentimes when there's a question, I'll look at Paul and say, what department are we talking about? Because that acronym can mean something different depending on the department that you're in.
Because all I see is IDK.
On page 7, under the Drain Commission, Dave M. Hotel, the hotel charge is one of the largest ones I've seen, $1,141. So is that for a longer stay or for multiple people or?
What page did you say that was on?
7.
7.
I believe that was for the drain commission. That was for the drain commissioner and one of the deputy, at least one of the deputy drain commissioners to go to a conference.
Okay, so it's a number of people.
Mhm.
And right under that, I had a note, refund pool warehouse, WEARHOUSE. What's, that's pretty cryptic.
Oh, this is an item that was returned. Pool Warehouse is the vendor that was.
Oh, so
Purchased
drain commission,
from-
got it.
Yes.
Okay, so it could have been chemicals or some such thing for whatever they do. Got it.
Look for what I can follow up and
I
give you
don't-
that exact item that was
No, I
returned.
need to know in that detail.
I think you may have answered my question on this one with the explanation of how these are all approved, but on page 8, there were a number of First Bank cards that just came up with Amazon and the number, and it doesn't tell anything what it's for, but those are all, I guess I won't concern myself about it, knowing that the department head had to approve it, and then it came on to you guys, so obviously you check all those out, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Do we have like a corporate account or something where all the Amazon purchases are aggregated, tracked and reviewable?
Yes, I believe printing and purchasing handles that account.
Perfect.
I do want to point out with that account, a few years back, we started a system where with Amazon, you also get some like buyback points, if you will, that can be converted into dollars. And then those dollars can be used to help pay down the invoice also. So we're getting a good deal on the product that she's ordering through Amazon, and with the system that we're in, we can also use those credits to reduce the invoice.
Do you prorate the refund then back to whatever accounts the cost was incurred to?
Does she do that? I think that she does. I'm not sure. I would have to follow up with her to see how that works because it depends on where. Yeah, if the card is being used through printing and purchasing, she's got an account number down there and then it would just all go back to that one. In the end, it's all general fund and so it's all kind of going back into the same pool.
I had a roommate once in college, there were four of us, and we shared a landline. And when he would divide up the bill, he would figure out the proration for each of our phone calls and then prorate the stamp.
Very detailed, huh?
Wow.
Yeah, very precise. So I get stuck on that question in my head once in a while.
And that was the University of Michigan, right?
Well, yeah, we're leaders in best. You'll have to.
He's probably a finance director. So.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's torturing some group somewhere to be sure.
Oh, on page 9, I just, Atlas Fuel Services at the campus, $1,000 charge for motor fuel gasoline. They have their own gas, service out there.
This was definitely for a bulk purchase of fuel. I believe that that would be the case. I would have to look into that to be certain, but that is the assumption that I had made when I saw the invoice.
I believe they do,
Oh.
but I too would have to check into it a little bit further to see, but I believe they do.
So what are they, do we have cars out there? I mean, number of cars that,
We do. We have vans and cars. We move juveniles from open unit. We move them, I mean, we're going to mud hen games and things of that nature. And they're taking recreational trips. So we do have vehicles out there. We also have vehicles out there for building and maintenance, building and grounds as well on the facility.
okay, got it.
Oh, was this for gas or propane? Because was this to fill generators? The new
Says
generator
motor
fill?
fuel.
Gas.
Oh, it may.
Pardon me? And the charges from Madison Charter Township, those are probably sewage,
Yes, those are water bills,
water bills.
water and sewage.
And going, going down to page 12, the medical examiner conference of 418. Aren't the medical examiners contract employees?
Sarah Palmani at the medical examiner.
Oh,
is-
okay. Oh, Sarah, she's our employee. Okay. Gotcha. No problem. Just wanted, I didn't know. And then, finally, on the sheriff's department or not on the sheriff's department, but finally on my question, a boat tow for $1,283 for our Boston whaler. Where was it? In the middle of Lake Erie?
I will have to double check with you or double check with the sheriff on that information.
Particularly since I insure my boat for $90 a year that gives me free towing.
I mean, I'm a lake person, you know, I'm saying $1,200. I mean, we don't have a lake here that big to tow a boat in, you know? Okay, let me know on that one. That's all I had. Anybody else?
I do have some follow-up information on that Macomb County,
Okay.
$20,000.
Thank you.
Maybe it'll just trigger a memory, but it's, it says inter-county cost-sharing agreement. Fox versus Saginaw.
There you go.
Trust.
Thank you. That does strike a memory. Be very careful because this is a litigation matter. So there is a class action lawsuit by an individual against a number, pretty much all of the counties in the state of Michigan regarding the foreclosure of properties and whether the any amounts received above and beyond what is actually owed on the property to the local municipality should be reimbursed back to the individual
Okay.
property owner before a county acquired the property. And I know that sounded confusing when it came out, but there is a litigation matter that's been going on and we are all responsible for our portion of paying the legal expenses associated with that. And that is what that cost sharing and that interlocal agreement is in this regard to that lawsuit, which We are hoping we'll be wrapping up in the very near future as they are working on, some settlement agreements right now.
Perfect. Okay, well, we covered those in the previous, this is for the legal end of it of sharing.
Correct.
When
Correct.
we were fighting the issue. Okay, that's all of them. Any others? Thank you for that, Dan. Appreciate it.
Is, speaking of litigation, is the dark store litigation still ongoing? The, that Madison Township with the big box stores?
They, last I knew, that is no longer going on to my knowledge.
Okay.
Let's leave it at that.
Thank you.
Anything else for brought before the payable for vouchers? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying the vouchers signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Do I have a motion?
It was implicit.
I'll take a motion first. Sorry about that. Motion.
moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Administrator Morphy. Keep our meeting in order here. Any discussion? Hearing none,
Aye.
all those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carried. Other business? Any other
Um,
business to be brought before the committee?
Yes, I was able to find that C&M towing
Okay,
invoice. This is not just for towing. There also looks like there was some repairs that were included within that invoice.
okay. Okay. For our Boston way.
No.
Thank you for that.
And that is some of the things that are a little bit difficult is when they're inputting the name of the vendor and a description of what the service is, there's only a limited number of spaces in which the description can hold. And so not all the time are the descriptions as detailed as we would like them to be so that you can see what those are. So we are working with the departments to try to clarify that a little bit, but that's an example of one of those things that comes
Okay.
up.
Well, it's fine. It helps us justify our position of coming here every 2 weeks.
That's right.
Okay, any other business? Public comment, there's no public here, nothing came in via the communications director, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Martis, supported by Administrator Murphy. All those in favor signify by saying yes.
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 Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for